Kane, why have you abandoned us in our hour of need? Hey, you guys remember earlier this summer when EA massively disappointed us all by digging up Command & Conquer's corpse and dancing it around on the stage one more time? Well, let me open up that wound for you again because Rivals just unlocked on my phone and I've been playing it a lot to get a feel for it. Oh my god, why? Command & Conquer Rivals is a mobile strategy game meant to be a competitive online game, and that should tell you all you need to know because, unfortunately, while I did make my own personal predictions, it turns out I was mostly right, which makes me a very sad boy. Command & Conquer Rivals is a game that actually would have been surprisingly good except for the fact that it's absolutely bogged down by microtransactions and loot boxes. It's as if EA took the worst elements of their Dungeon Keeper remake and their Star Wars Battlefront 2 remake, took one of our favorite franchises, and mashed it all together into what is something that makes me very sad because you can tell the devs actually cared on this one. These guys say that they're Redwood Studios, but are they the Redwood that we originally knew from Dead Space and stuff? I don't know. So connect to that Wi-Fi and start doing those Google rewards surveys for money because we're about to dive right into this mess. Every match, the glow of the Tiberium gets a little bit dimmer. To kick things off, you play the game by getting medals, which work as a sort of hybrid between your experience level and MMR points. This already sounds problematic. Again, I can't believe I'm unironically using that word, especially because if you get particularly stomped in a game or get on a losing streak, you'll lose your little medal MMR, whatever this is, which means you won't be able to unlock certain characters. You'll notice I only play as what I think might be a Rule 63 version of the main character from Advance Wars 2, and this guy was a healing drone. That's because the characters you're allowed to play in-game are tied to your level ranking, and your level ranking dictates what you can unlock, what you can unlock in loot boxes. Thank you very much. We're gonna get to the loot boxes and how this game is entirely structured around them later, but for now, let's focus on that ranking issue. As per the usual, when we've got sort of numbered-based leveling that isn't so much about your levels, it says how many little points you have, you're matched with people that are roughly the same amount of points as you are, but because of the loot box thing, that doesn't mean a whole lot. I've been stalked by people way below me who have had things that I could not possibly get by playing for free. It's hard to talk about this with not bringing up the loot boxes and everything because it is so ingrained into the DNA of this game, but I'm going to try and focus more on this ranking thing. As you lose points, you don't actually lose level, but it will be frustrating because you can be at the very bottom rungs and get stuck in ELO hell or MMR hell, whatever you want to call it, because people have paid money to get better things, and that way you cannot possibly win because you're just going through the starter things, and these people in the early parts of this game have a massive leg up. Also, I have no idea how the top ranked people are already in the 6,000s of rank. I don't know how that's possible. I guess they were beta players or something, but how is anyone going to expect to get that high without paying for anything? Because every time you lose, you will likely lose a few of your medals. And that means you're going to have trouble unlocking new units because the units are tied to what you get in the boxes. You're not going to be able to unlock certain characters that have new abilities so you can try out new metas and new strategies because that is tied to your medal ranking. Everything is tied to your medal ranking, it seems. And when people can easily beat you by just having a ton of units that are otherwise nearly impossible to unlock by playing free, you're screwed. You are totally screwed. It's very sad, but you are screwed. Somewhere in one of these loot boxes is peace through power, and I can't afford to find it. Okay, time to get into the meat of this video, which is the meat of this game, which is loot boxes. Everything in this game is built around the loot boxes. You want to get new units? You have to get them through loot boxes. You want to get a new character to play as so you can use a new hero ability? Get it through loot boxes. You want to level up your units to try and stand a chance in this game? Get it through loot boxes. It uses a similar system to Clash Royale where the more cards of a certain person you have, the more you can level them up eventually after you pay through gold, which, yeah, that's basically how Clash Royale does things. The issue comes into that not only is this game constantly trying to get you to loosen up your wallet to give them money for nothing, but the fact that equally ranked players, one being a free player and one being a whale, are not equally ranked. Yes, your medals are about the same, but the free player does not stand a chance against the paid player. And there's no way to differentiate like free players versus paid players in the rankings. And why would EA do that? Because if the whales are winning and having fun, they're gonna spend more money. So why would you let the free players have a good time? They're there to make the whales have a good time. Case in point, I talked about it a bit earlier, but my third match ever in this game, like playing against an actual person, I got crushed. I had my pit bulls and my APCs, and out of nowhere, this dude rolls up with nothing but zone troopers and titans. And I had no way of defending against that because titans are like a light artillery in this game that can shoot across multiple things, and I couldn't even dent them. I rushed all my dudes, as you can see, cannot dent these titans. And I found out later, hey, how do I get the titans? What is this? Turns out it's a loot box exclusive item, a purple loot box exclusive item, which means you're only going to be able to viably get it by getting the nice loot boxes that cost more than the starting gems that you might get when you start the game. Or, you know what, you can just be overtly pay to win. There was a screen right in the beginning as soon as I went to the shop that said, hey, give us $5 and we'll let you have titans and zone troopers. It's like, okay. Thanks. I remember in StarCraft and the original Command & Conquer games, how if I wanted to get to like the final tech level, I had to go give Blizzard $5. No, of course not. That is not how you should run things. I know that you're trying to get that sense of pride and accomplishment that is being now navigated by your moral compass, but this is not how you do a real-time strategy game. You do not gate stuff behind loot boxes and payments, especially late game units. In the name of fairness though, there are multiple opportunities daily that you can get loot boxes for free. Every time you finish a match, depending on if you win or lose, you'll either get respectively 1 full fuel can or half a fuel can at the end of the match. You give a truck the fuel can, and then it'll go and get you a loot box of random value, although I've never seen it give me a purple one. And additionally, you can shorten the time for it to go get your loot box by giving it another jerry can of fuel. Yeah, sounds nice, but I still haven't been able to get one of those nice purple ones that have all the stuff I actually need. And additionally, if you do all your daily challenges, you can get yourself a gold loot box, which is the highest I've been able to get in this game. But you're going to need to do at least 6 matches, as in matches that you ace. You get the nuke 2 out of 2 times and win, and that way you can get it in the shortest amount of time. This could take you a lot more if you suck at this game or if you keep on getting paired up with whales. But to be fair, there are opportunities to get loot boxes in-game without spending money. Just nowhere near enough to actually be competitive compared to others. And you might be asking right now, Charlatan, why do you care so much? It's just a mobile game. Well, one, this is what's left of Command & Conquer, and for another, the majority of this footage was taken inside of 24 hours of the game going live, and it has already been made nigh unplayable by whales. Like, more often than not, I just find myself going, okay, I'm just gonna have to sit through this one, take it on the chin, and eventually I'm gonna find another free player. I'd be really remiss if I did not at least bring up once that when you're actually playing against normal people who have not dumped a ton of money into this game, it's a lot of fun. I have myself a good time, and when I get on a streak where I don't see any zone troopers or the Titan walkers, it's a great time had by all. It's not perfect. I'm pretty sure at the point I'm at, I've discovered a meta that's very hard to beat between the guy with the repair drone and predator tanks. But I have a feeling as soon as air game is introduced, and since predator tanks can't attack air, I'm gonna have to learn real fast. Will I be able to find my way to the higher ranks and play as Glorious Kane? I simply don't know, because I keep on running into dudes that put a bunch of money into the game and suddenly I'm swarmed with Titan walkers and zone troopers. And another issue I find, which while it does work to my benefit, is troubling, is lately, at least the night I'm recording this as I'm grinding to get my stupid little boxes and what have you, I'm being matched against some people that are way outside my range, like people that sometimes I have over 150 medals like on them, and vice versa, which isn't exactly a good sign when it comes to matchmaking. These flaws aside, when I'm at least playing with fair players that didn't decide to throw $100 at me, I realized that this is a great game that has a lot of potential. Maybe there could be a co-op mode where you fight against Cabal, who just like throws waves of dudes at you and you have to hold down a certain base or whatever, or maybe even a 2v2. but I have my doubts any of this is gonna happen. You can cover this up all you want, but we know you're behind this, EA. I mean, GDI scum. You know what the worst part about all this is? The absolute worst part? The game is pretty good. Like, the actual RTS part is the best translation onto the mobile platform I have seen of real-time strategy. And Redwood, whoever you guys are, you guys did a good job, and it is a shame that your game is so bogged down by loot boxes because it's engaging. The controls feel good, the taps actually feel like they're doing what I want them to do. I have almost never had an issue with mistapping or misclicking, whatever you want to say, and when I do, it's because I have fat, stupid thumbs. This game is solid, and I feel like if it wasn't for all this ridiculous monetization, and maybe a reworking of how you actually made the pay model, this could be a worthy successor to the Command & Conquer name, which we have not had one of those for a while. Like, between the browser game and Command & Conquer 4, this could have been the game that made Command & Conquer a title that people look forward to seeing news from. And I feel so bad about this. But by the same stroke, I know that EA is not going to do anything about this. If you go back to that Dungeon Keeper mobile game, you know what you're gonna find? Not a single thing has changed. It is still the same ridiculous freemium model that was previously present when everyone lost their minds about that game coming out. Nothing changed. So why would they do it with Command & Conquer Rivals? It's the same scenario. A cult title from the past is being rehashed into a mobile game that they can just monetize, loot box, and pay to win the ever-loving Kane out of. You cannot make the fans of the Command & Conquer franchise and real-time strategy care by just shoutcasting us into bliss by getting a who's who of who needs a paycheck in Team Liquid to do a little demo bit at your EA Play, which I have been to before, and you know what? Aside from meeting some cool dudes, I sorely regret it. Please take me off the invite list. If you really want people to care, play, and even pay for your titles on mobile, you have to make it a fair pay model. You cannot allow for a system that just allows the whales to steamroll everyone. I wouldn't have minded playing like $15 or like certain microtransactions that are more cosmetic or EXP boost based, then just find out, oh yeah, unless I want to put down $200 on loot boxes, I'm not getting anywhere in this game. And that's a shame because again, you have taken a perfectly good strategy game. In fact, possibly one of the best strategy games to date on mobile based on its mechanics alone, and you have buried it in loot boxes and imitation card systems from other popular games. And for that, I say, shame on you. Okay, you know what? That's all I can really talk about this anymore. I'm going to come back to this game in 90 days and see if anything has been changed. I will keep playing this game so you do not have to, dear viewer. And in the meantime, like, subscribe, Patreon, because I like doing nice things that contribute to these videos, and have yourself a nice day. I'm going to go find a way to drown this suffering in a safe manner.
Going on a table ride. I am out of shape. And at least it didn't catch on the thing. You have a fun table ride? Table boy? You're a jerk, you know that?
Spawn more overlords!